Right Understanding to Help Others, Part 5.
Jai Sachidanand. I bow down to the absolute pure soul within all of you, with utmost oneness and devotion. My salutations, my salutations, my salutations. Jai Sachidanand. We will read on. Page number 7 in the book Right Understanding to Help Others.
Page number 7. Heading: Through benevolence, merit karma comes along. Until liberation, moksha is not attained. Merit karma, punya, alone functions as one's friend, and demerit karma, pap, functions as one's enemy. Now, do you want to keep an enemy or do you want to keep a friend? Decide that based on what you would like. Page number 8. Also, you should ask about how the circumstance, sanjog, of a friend can be brought about and how the circumstance of an enemy can be gotten rid of. And if one likes the enemy and asks how that circumstance can come about, then I would tell that person, run yourself into a debt however you want and live extravagantly. Wander about recklessly and enjoy yourself as you please. Then, deal with the consequences when they come. And if one wants punya in the form of a friend, then I would point to a tree and say, Dear man, learn from this tree. Does any tree ever eat its own fruits? Does a rose bush ever eat its own flower? It must eat a little, right? When we're not around, at night, it must eat at that time, right? It doesn't eat it? Questioner: It doesn't.
Dada says, you decide what you want to keep. Then he shows everything. Until moksha is not attained, merit karma is beneficial and demerit karma is harmful. For demerit karma, run yourself into a debt however you want and live extravagantly means he takes money on loan, enjoys it, and then declares bankruptcy to the creditors. So they all become unhappy. He doesn't know that the repayment will be so heavy that nature will not spare him. That mystery remained intact. But these are all ways of binding demerit karma, whereas if you want to bind merit karma, then learn from a tree. Use everything of yours for the happiness of others.
Dada Shri: These trees and shrubs are there to serve humans by offering them their fruits. Now, what does the tree gain? It evolves into a higher life form, and humans move forward with their help. Just consider, when you eat a mango, what does the mango tree lose? And what do you gain? You ate a mango, so you felt happy, and because of that, the change that takes place in your inner tendencies earns you a spiritual benefit worth 100 rupees. Now, since you ate the mango, about 5% of your benefit will go to the mango tree and 95% remains for you. So they take 5% of your share and they evolve to a higher life form. And you do not go to a lower life form. You progress as well. So the trees say, enjoy everything of mine. Enjoy every kind of fruit and flower.
Yes, we take fruits from them, eat them, and gain energy in our bodies. Then if we follow some religion or progress in spirituality, we will gain something. And for the tree, when we pluck its fruits, it certainly feels pain, but it doesn't see anyone at fault. It does penance. In that penance, it gets 5% of the spiritual powers. Therefore, it evolves to a higher life form. Moreover, we did some religious activities, so we will also progress to a higher life form. So here Dada explains the results of helping others in a scientific way.
Heading: Help others through yog and upyog. So if you can put up with this world, if you like this world, if you desire worldly things, if you crave the sensory pleasures of this world, then do this much: yog, upyog, paropkarai. Help others through yog and upyog. Page number 9. Yog means the union of the mind, speech and body, whereas upyog means to use the intellect, to use the mind, to use the chit, subtle component of vision and knowledge in the inner functioning instrument called antakaran. Use all of that for others. And if it is not used for others, then ultimately people use it for their family, don't they? Why is it that this female dog finds food? It is because God resides in her puppies, and she takes care of her puppies. It is because of this that she gets everything. The entire world functions on this basis.
This is an additional thing that Dada reveals. Yog, upyog, paropkarai. Yog means the mind, speech and body, and upyog means the intellect, chit and ego. Use all those for others. If one uses it for others, Dada says, the worldly happiness of your entire life, the worldly desires, the worldly difficulties will go away. He'll have peace in life. Then, people don't know about this. One doesn't help others directly, but does so indirectly. That's because God resides in every living being. So God is indeed there within a child as well. The female dog takes care of her puppies and protects them. Because God resides within the puppies, the female dog keeps getting food, water, and shelter. That's what Dada is saying. So naturally, the seva of God is being done in an indirect manner. Whereas if one does it with understanding, because the seva is done for others, moh or illusory attachment, minus, and selfishness all dissolve in the process. Thirdly, if one realizes the self and worships it, then he attains something higher. Read on.
From where do these trees get their nourishment? Have these trees made any effort? They are not emotional at all. Do they ever become emotional? They never go back and forth. They never feel like the Vishwamitri river is 1 mile away. Let me go there and drink some water.
This satsang was held in the city of Vadodara. The Vishwamitri river is 1 mile away from there. Let me go there and drink some water. The tree doesn't go there. However, the law of nature is such that one keeps getting food, air, water, etc. wherever he is. As you do things for others, there is no need to think about your own difficulties.
Honesty and a mutually obliging nature, this is all that one needs. To mutually help one another is indeed the privilege of human life. In this world, there are 2 kinds of people who are free from worries. One is the Gnani Purush, who has realized the self and is able to do the same for others, and the other is the one who helps others.
Yes, it dissolves through Jnana. And the people who are using their lives for helping others, their own worries, afflictions from external sources, and miseries dissolve. We should mutually help each other. We should become complementary to each other. We should help each other. The human life is indeed for this purpose. In the jungle, we observe that if one tree has grown, a creeper will wrap itself around the tree. They peacefully share food with each other. They take advantage of the shade of one another. Nobody objects as to, why did you take more? You took my spot. There is no interference at all. They all keep growing on their own, and they all keep progressing further. Whereas in humans, the intellect developed, and that intellect keeps interfering. These are my children, and these are my sister-in-law's children. She would tell her child, my dear, hide your candy and toys, okay? When he leaves, you can bring them out. She would teach him this. The child also learns. Is that so? Yes, the elder one will take everything. So the intellect makes us emotional. It causes attachment and abhorrence, and creates divisiveness between mine and others. Otherwise, people used to live heartily. The grandmother at home, she would treat everyone equally. Doesn't Dada tell this story? My mother used to serve milk to me and my sister-in-law, and she would serve the same amount of milk to both of us. So Dada said, give her less or give me more. His mother said, no, I won't do that. Both will get the same amount. Dada said, then I won't drink it. His mother replied, okay. Did you notice? In the olden days, the elderly people were like that. They lived heartily. They used to treat everyone equally. There used to be understanding behind this. She is a daughter of the other family. I am like her mother. I will take care of her. You should not say, give her less and give me more. They used to mutually help each other. In the olden days, they used to take such care of each other. Now they all became educated, so the intellect developed and the divisiveness increased more, and in their own moh and selfishness, when one works a job or runs a business, is he doing it for helping others? The answer is no. He is indeed doing it for his family. He says, I will accumulate money and give it to my children before my death. I will make provisions for my grandchildren. He doesn't know how this is damaging his own self. It is not wrong, but keep it proportional. Keep some for the children, the grandchildren, and whatever else, but divert some of it towards religion, or use it for charity, or for seva, or for helping others.
Heading: The real method of helping others. Questioner: In this world, what constitutes good deeds? Is it possible to define them? Dada Shri: Yes. Good deeds are what these trees do. It does deeds that are entirely good. However, it does not have the sense of doership, karta bhav. These trees are living beings. They give their own fruits for the sake of all others. Similarly, give your fruits for the sake of others. You will continue to receive your fruits. Whatever fruits manifest within you, whether they are related to the body, the mind, or the speech, if you give these to others free of cost, then you will continue to receive everything you need. Page number 10. For the necessities of your life, you will not have to face even the slightest difficulty. But when you consume those fruits on your own, you will face difficulties. If this mango tree were to eat its own fruits, then whoever its owner is, what would he do? He would chop it down, wouldn't he? Like that, these people consume their own fruits themselves, and not only that, but in addition, they ask for a fee.
Dada says this so minutely. If this mango tree were to eat its own fruits, no mango tree owner will nurture it. He will discard it. What is the use of it? If he feels that it's useful to him, then he takes care of it and takes advantage of its fruits. Moreover, the mango tree does not lose anything. It will indeed evolve to a higher life form. Dada says, it is worth doing this thing for one lifetime. Spend your life for others.
People charge 22 rupees to fill out a single request form. In a country where legal services used to be rendered free of cost, and moreover, law was practiced by inviting one home for a meal, instead, the current state is this.
How about that? In the olden days, it was like this. People used to invite them for a meal at their home and then help them. If there was a dispute in the village between two people, then the head of the village would bring about a solution. Moreover, it used to be free of cost. Whereas today, as soon as one receives a phone call, the timer is pressed, and money is charged on a per minute and per second basis. Now, this is the current state.
In the past, if there was a dispute in the village, the head of the village would tell both parties, Chandubhai, come to my home today at 10:30, and Naginbhai, you too come to my home at that time. And instead of Naginbhai, if it were a laborer or a farmer or anyone who was having a dispute, he would invite them home. He would sit them both down and make them both come to an agreement. He would make the debtor pay a portion of the money owed in cash and arrange for the balance to be paid off in installments. Then he would tell both of them, come, join me for a meal. He would feed both of them and then send them home. Do such lawyers exist today? Therefore, understand and recognize the current times, then conduct yourself accordingly. However, if a person expends himself only for his own self, then at the time of death he will be miserable. He is neither able to die, nor is he able to leave his bungalow and car behind.
It is difficult. This is so nice. Now, these attributes have started showing up in our Mahatmas. Dada had the intention that it should happen like this. While doing seva, if there is a dispute between two people, then the coordinator calls both of them and brings about a mutually satisfactory solution. We should not do kashai, and here, there is no worldly interaction of money at all. But there is a small problem of respect. However, they have the intention to bring about a solution. They don't want to hurt each other or see each other's faults. If they happen to pay for any expense themselves, then they feel happy that it got used for Dada's work, and they solve each other's problems. They solve each other's miseries and bring about a solution. So gradually our Mahatmas are moving towards this direction. We don't want to take anything from anybody. If we can help everyone, then we'll do so.
In the past, one did not charge money for giving advice. He would settle the matter in some other way. He may even give 2,000 rupees from his pocket. Whereas nowadays, if someone were to seek advice, then he would charge 100 rupees as a fee for the advice. Page number 11. Hey, you're a Jain. So he would reply, I am indeed a Jain, but I need some type of business, do I not? Sir, a fee just for advice? And you are a Jain? You even embarrass the Lord. You even embarrass the Vitrag Lords, fully enlightened living beings who are absolutely detached. A fee for know-how? What sort of unscrupulousness is this considered to be?
So all this is indeed happening in the worldly life. The one who has more knowledge charges more money. For instance, if one is a surgeon, and if he has reached a higher level, he will say, I will charge 200,000 or 500,000 for the operation. It's not wrong. Whatever they are doing is correct. However, in the olden times, the doctors or the lawyers didn't used to charge any fees. People would provide them with other things. One farmer would give 5 mounds of wheat, and another would give 2 mounds of another grain, and his house would continue running. Therefore, the doctor's chit used to be in helping others, in curing their diseases, and in eliminating their miseries. And he used to have enough to pay his day-to-day expenses. Dada says, whereas today, everything has changed. Say, if one is a lawyer or a person who has a skill, then he uses it only to earn. Dada says, the knowledge one uses to earn, that knowledge does not remain in the next life. Nothing will remain with him in the next life. He took advantage of the knowledge he had. He charged money for that, so veils of ignorance come over it.
Questioner, a fee for the excessive intellect, buddhi. That is what you mean, right? Dada Shri, there is no problem with having an intellect. However, this intellect is the kind that takes one further into the relative, viprit buddhi. It brings harm to one's own self, the viprit buddhi. The Lord has not objected to the intellect. The Lord says that it can also become the intellect that takes one towards the real, samyak buddhi. If such an intellect has increased, then one may feel, whom can I bring about a solution for? Whom can I help out? Who is it that I can assist to get a job?
Here Dada says, we should not charge money for giving advice. If we try to do this today, then it will be difficult. So, if we're running a consulting firm or an engineering firm, aren't there architects who charge money only for their design and advice? So we should accept the money, but keep in our awareness to use the surplus for charity or some good work. Then, that much responsibility will be reduced. If we keep accumulating for moh or greed, then the responsibility for that is different.
Heading, Obliging Nature. Questioner, now, by my viewpoint, if a dog is killing a pigeon and we try to save it, then in my viewpoint, that is considered being obliging. But isn't that already in the course of the result of scientific circumstantial evidences, vyavasthit? Dada Shri, when are you able to oblige? You can only do so if it is in the pigeon's vyavasthit. Otherwise, it is not possible at all. Nevertheless, you should maintain an obliging nature. In doing so, you will bind merit karma only. And thus, there remains no reason for any suffering to arise. If you cannot do so with money, then run an errand or use your intellect to give them understanding, but oblige them in any way possible. Page number 12. Heading, Helping Others Only Results in Benefit. So if this life is spent obliging others, you will not lose out in any way at all, nor will you experience difficulties of any sort. Whatever desires you have will all be fulfilled, whereas if you strive to fulfill your desires, none of them will get fulfilled, because that way will not allow you to fall asleep at night. These wealthy businessmen are not able to sleep at all. They cannot sleep for 3 to 4 days on end. That is because they have simply cheated and robbed whoever they could. So, have an obliging nature. When you're going somewhere, ask around in your neighborhood. I am going to the post office. Do you have any letters that need to be mailed? Is there a problem with asking around in this manner as you go? Someone may say, I don't trust you. Then reply, Sir, I apologize for that. However, for those who trust you, at least take their letter. This was in fact a childhood attribute of mine that I am talking about, an obliging nature, and at age 25 my entire friend circle used to call me superhuman.
This is how Dada used to be. He used to help people from his childhood. He says, I had told my friends, if you have any difficulty in terms of money or any kind of difficulty, then come to me. If I come at midnight, then don't give me anything, and I won't ask for anything either. Just understand that I have not come to take anything from anyone. I have come to give to people. My birth is for that. He used to say this in the olden days and at that age. Thereafter, people used to call him a superhuman.
Who can be considered a human? It is one whose interactions of give and take are mutual. He gives happiness to those who give happiness to him, and he does not hurt those who hurt him. One who interacts like this is considered to have humanity. Then, the one who takes away the happiness of others falls into beastliness. The one who conducts his worldly interactions as a human being by giving happiness and taking happiness retains the human life form, whereas the one who gives away his own happiness for others to enjoy attains a celestial life form, a superhuman. When one gives away his own happiness to someone else, to someone who is miserable, he attains a celestial life form.
How about that? Human means equal parts. He gives happiness to those who give happiness to him, and he doesn't hurt those who hurt him. Moreover, even if the other person hurts him, he keeps giving him happiness. Such a person is referred to as a superhuman. Even if the other person hurts him 10 times, he will still behave in a way that will give happiness to the other person. He is referred to as a superhuman, or he will give his own happiness to others. It's okay if I don't get it, you take it. If you get happiness from it, then progress in that. That person goes to a higher life form, the celestial life form. Whereas when one takes away the happiness of others, that falls into beastliness. We have to get rid of this mistake. We should spread this accomplished principle, this knowledge across the world that if you take anything from others, then you are incurring a loss from your own self. And if you are giving to others, then you yourself are gaining from it. If one is robbing another, then he is not robbing anyone else. He is losing what he would have had in the future. If you give happiness to others, then that is referred to as humanity. And if you practice humanity, then you will be happy. Your present life will improve, and so will your next life.
Page number 13. Heading. In that, the egoism is normal. Questioner. Does benevolence have an association with egoism? Dada Shri. It is always the case that egoism of a person who obliges is bound to be normal. It is an appropriate egoism, whereas the egoism of a person who charges a fee of 150 rupees to do the work of others in court is bound to be much higher.
Yes, the egoism is normal. The intellect is also normal. A person who is narrow-minded, his egoism would have increased a bit. How can I take advantage of others? How can I enjoy things of others? His intellect has increased so much that he cheats the other person and takes advantage of him. Then that egoism takes one to the animal life form in the next life.
The natural law of this world is that when you give your own fruits to others, then nature will take care of you. This is precisely the hidden science. This is indirect dharma. Then comes direct dharma, and the dharma of the self comes last. This is indeed the value of human life. The essence is simply that one's mind, speech, and body is to be used for others.
And after using it for others, one will not lose anything of his own. Dada says, study the examples of trees, shrubs, etc. When they are giving their fruits and flowers to others, what did they lose? In this way, this is a hidden science. When you give your own fruits to others, then nature takes care of everything for you.